Hey, today I'm going to show you how to make a time scroller using Figma and Protopie. Let's see the sample of my scroller. So these are my data. We can scroll up and down until it reaches the very bottom and scroll up again. Okay. Let's see, my page was made purely in Figma, which is everything you can make already because I believe you make it better than me. Yeah. And the first step for us is to type all the data out and make them as frames. So I typed my months and date and years. The only thing you need to pay attention is make sure your padding is correct. Like you use consistent padding for all of them. After you finish doing that, after finish typing, make sure you export as 3 times PNG because we are going to use it for Protopie. Okay, let's open the Protopie. I have already imported this for you. The first thing we are going to do is going to group our Figma elements. Okay, I have already grouped the top one because we are not going to touch them in this Protopie. We are going to group them together and then we are going to import the image from our computer and make them scrollable. Okay, let's import the image together. So now I have imported the months. One thing we need to pay attention is to maybe write down the position of the initial. We have an x value of 57 and a y value of 397. And then we are going to import the date and years. Make sure your layout and padding is correct. Okay. And just remember your initial value because we are going to change them later. This picture is pretty big. Yeah. Making sure everything is correct. Okay. So now here's the crucial step. We are going to make layers to cover our data. Okay, this is the layers for top. Let me call it a top color and make sure the background color matches our background. And we are going to send our top information on the top of our color. Okay. And we'll need a bottom color. Oops, sorry, here's the information. Let's copy the top color and make it a bottom color. Okay, here we go. And now we can delete all the unnecessary information, such as our months. Oops, not deleting the picture though. Make sure the only thing left here is 3 pictures and 2 lines. Okay. This is our bottom group, and let's make it in the top of the bottom color. The next step is to make opacity layers. The first opacity layer, we are going to put it right under the top layer, the top cover layer. And let's give it a background color of white, and opacity maybe I'll give it a 70% opacity. Okay, we'll see that later. And copy this opacity layer, make it here, put it right here, and you can try to adjust the size to make it fit your content. And copy it for the third time. Make sure they don't have anything left. We don't have any space left in the middle. And let's call it opacity 3. For opacity 3, we are going to give it probably I'm going to give 85% of opacity. Okay. Oops. Let's see. So now we get something looks similar to our page in Protopie. Let me adjust this. Okay, that looks better, right? Okay, then we are going to see if the opacity layer is a touchable layer. If it's not, we are going to make the lower layer touchable. Okay. So now is the crucial thing. We are going to create a drag trigger, and create a move. The first thing we are going to move is mouse. We are moving up and down. Is that movable? Make sure everything is consistent. Yeah, that's movable. Okay. Let's remember the original position is 57 and 397, and we are going to set a custom limit for them. So the max Y will be 397 because we are moving it up. If we are moving it pretty up, we are going to make the max of 397, and the minimum value we are going to see right now. Okay. The minimum value would be -88. So we are able to move it up and down within the correct range. Actually, the mouse is pretty much done, and we are going to move it back to the initial value. I recommended you to write down the initial value so you don't get messed up on the x value, since we are not creating a new x value. And basically you are just doing the same thing for the date and year. Here is a successful sample, and everything is draggable. I did the exactly same thing for date, setting up a value for them, and years. Basically it's all about setting values. Okay, to sum up, the first step is convert the data to frames. Make sure you're typing it with correct typography, paddings. Okay, the second step is import your first page to Protopie, and make sure you group the thing we are not needed to use together and make cover layers for them. The third thing is import the 3 picture to this frame and write down the initial value because we are going to change it later. The third thing is creating opacity layers. After creating opacity layer, you will need to check if the layer is touchable in the lower layer. Okay, the fifth thing is creating the dragging effect. The max y would be your initial y, and the minimal y would be the y value you are going to drag it to the very end. Okay.